I'm here at IFA in Berlin, and Samsung just introduced the new Samsung Galaxy Tab S11 Ultra and Galaxy Tab S11, and we'll take a look at them now. And here we are finally at the booth from Samsung, and we have the brand new Samsung Galaxy Tab S11 Ultra. And now we can take a first look at this brand new 14.6-inch tablet. Obviously, it's a successor to the S10 Ultra that was introduced last year, and we've got a couple of new features here. First of all, the S Pen has been redesigned. It's more square now, not all round like it was before, and the tip has been changed a bit as well. It's not as soft as it used to in the past. It's still a bit softer than an Apple Pencil, for example, but not as soft as before. And the touch, when you write with it on the screen, it works pretty much like before. I don't think there are any changes there, but it's still a bit softer than an Apple Pencil, which personally I like a lot, but it's gotten a bit harder compared to the predecessor. Samsung did have quite soft tips in the past. Another new accessory is this slim keyboard cover. It works basically the same like the last couple of years, but just the mechanism that connects the tablet is changed. Like we've got a little flap here, and when you put it on magnetically, the flap actually jumps up and connects to the tablet. Let's see if we can, if I can show it here to you. There we go. It flaps up, tap on the keyboard a bit. It works pretty well. I'm missing a touchpad here, so I hope that Samsung will release a bigger size keyboard with a touchpad as well. I mean, we do have a touchscreen, but still, when you're writing, like when you're doing office work and so on, it's really nice to have a touchpad. So much about the accessories. Samsung also changed a couple of things with the tablet itself. First of all, the 14.6-inch AMOLED is a new one. It's now much brighter at up to 1600 nits, and the standard brightness is 1000 nits. So it's pretty much on par with the iPad Pro and also the Honor Magic Pad 2, which is quite nice because Samsung tablets were a bit dark compared to the Apple and Honor competition in the last year. So that's certainly nice to see. Otherwise, it's still like a 120 Hertz AMOLED. It has a resolution of 2960 by 1848 pixels, so quite high resolution. And yeah, it's a really nice display, just like last generation, but a little bit better. Here on the front, we now have a webcam which has a resolution of 12 megapixels, and it's a really ultra wide angle webcam. Now inside this tablet, we've got a MediaTek Dimensity 9400 Plus chipset, which is pretty fast. It should be like roughly on par with the Snapdragon 8 Elite, but that's in benchmarks and in everyday use. Like it should be pretty fast, but usually many games are not optimized for MediaTek chips, so I'm expecting that we won't be able to play Fortnite at 120 FPS on Epic settings, at least not right away. Usually it takes a while until they optimize it for MediaTek chips. We get between 12 and 16 gigabyte of RAM and up to 1 terabyte of internal storage. Now let's go around the device a bit. We've got two speakers over here, two speakers on the other side, and in the middle a USB-C port. It's a USB 3 one, so you can connect external monitors. On the top, we've got a micro SD card slot, which can hold up to 2 terabyte cards, and in this case also a SIM card because I'm holding the 5G version. Then we've got a power button and a volume rocker, and that's pretty much it. On the back, we've got a 30 megapixel main camera and an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera. We've got a fingerprint scanner that sits underneath the display, but since it's not set up to my finger, I cannot show you that at the moment. It's IP68 rated, just like the predecessor, and it has an 11,600 milliamp hour battery. It's running Android 16 out of the box, including One UI 8, but Samsung is really good with updates. This one should get updates for 7 years, and all the previous generations will also, like most of the previous generations, will also get updates for 7 years. So if you got the S9 or S10, it will also get the same software. I'm sure there are some customizations, like some new AI features, but it will take a while until I see them all. Also at the moment, I've got Samsung DeX installed, and they updated it a little bit, but like it roughly works very similar to the previous generations of DeX. You can still open apps in several windows and move them to wherever you want, so there's not that much new here. But when we have this tablet for review, we will check out what new features there are in detail. yeah, my first impression of the S11 Ultra is pretty good. Like obviously it won't be really worth it to upgrade if you got the predecessor, but if your tablet is a couple of years old, then it will be worth it, especially because of the screen. It's really, really bright now, like a 14.6 inch 1000 nits or up to 1600 nits bright screen. That is quite nice. And now to the Galaxy Tab S11, the smaller version. There's no S11 Plus this year. Samsung is leaving out the 12.4 inch version, but we do get a new 11-inch version. And this is a much bigger upgrade compared to the S9, because last year Samsung did not release an 11-inch Tab S10. So there's a generation skip here, which means that you will see quite a bit of a performance and in general spec bump compared to the previous 11-inch high-end tablet from Samsung. So most things are identical to the S11 Ultra, but there are some differences. Obviously the screen is smaller, but it's also up to 1600 nits bright. It's an AMOLED with a resolution of 2560 by 1600 pixels, so a very nice AMOLED screen. Inside runs the same MediaTek chip, and we get only 12 GB of RAM as a standard. There's no 16 GB version, and also there's no 1 TB storage options. It's 128 GB up to 512 GB, and that's it. But you can also fit a 2 TB SD card here, and this again is the 5G version, so there's also a SIM card slot. There's a fingerprint scanner underneath the display, of course, and we get a really premium aluminium body that is IP86 certified as well. Feels quite high-end and is only 5.5 millimeters thin, so a little bit thicker than the Ultra. Otherwise, we're getting an 8400 milliamp battery, which is also a bit smaller than the Ultra, but we get a much smaller body here. The S Pen will be very similar, and also the keyboard will be very similar to the one we've seen for the Ultra. Otherwise, it's running Android 16 as well, and the software really is identical. And yeah, I'm quite looking forward to reviewing it, because we haven't seen an 11-inch high-end Samsung tablet for over a year, like for 2 years now. So it will be nice to review this tablet. It's available now, so I hope we will order it and review it very soon. These tablets start at €899 and probably around the same price in US dollars. And if you don't want to spend that much money on a tablet, check out our review of the Samsung Galaxy Tab S10 FE and FE Plus series. These tablets are much cheaper, and the FE Plus is up to 13 inches in size.